Welcome. It's Chris from Fox and Hollow Paper. Today we are going to be making a holiday countdown calendar, and this is a free printables, so you can check down below in the description to find a link for the printables. You're going to get, like I said, 5 pages. You're going to get some fussy cuts. This is the base. This is a little bit extra. You can use or choose not to. Some words on there. And these are the 2 cubes that you're going to use to create the date. So I am going to take a few moments. I'm going to cut all these out and I'll be right back. Everything is cut out. I have cut the fussy cuts. Some of them I cut completely out, and some I left a small border. And I mean, you can do whatever you like. It's obviously a lot easier. You could also run it through your Cricut if you have one. That might be helpful. But as you know, if you've done that before, then everything kind of shrinks down, but it still works. I'm sure it'll still be just fine. So I've cut those out. The words here, I have put a slight border on the outside of them, so you could use them just like this, but you could also cut in nice and tight, so it's totally up to you. These little snowflakes, I like to add, to get, if we're going to print a page off, then I want to use the whole page. And so I like to add in little circles with little bits of this and that you can use. Now, I didn't get that. The one thing I didn't have ready is a 5/8 hole punch. And these should fit in there pretty darn perfect. And actually, they may even go up to a 1/2 inch. Yeah, you might even be able to. But I like to add a little around the outside so you don't get a white border on the actual cutout. Oh, I cut these ones awfully small. Maybe straight or not, hard to tell. Anyways, oh, that one's too short. That is going to be tricky. Oh, I got it. All right, great. All right, everything is cut out. We'll put those to the side. We do have a couple things to do. This one first. This is for the base. So we need to cut this out. Now you could get a pair of scissors and just make a hole and cut out. I have an X-Acto knife type thing, and this does not have to be perfect. This is just so we can, when we're gluing, we can get our fingers in there. So you could use a ruler if you're making it for someone else and you want it to be really pretty. You can definitely use a ruler. I'm not going to. I'm just going to cut it out. That one's done. That's done. Yeah, everything else is cut. So the only thing we need to do now is score all of our lines before we go any further. So we've got the base. This is a decorative base, these pieces, and the cubes. I'm just going to use a ruler. I have a silicone mat down. You need something with a little bit of a cushion if you're going to be doing, like if you were to do it right onto a glass mat, it might not work so good for you. I'm just going to use a stylus. You could also use, if you've got one of these with the score in, but I feel like because it's so many little short lines, it's just easier to use the stylus. You could use your board too if you've got one of those, but like I said, I'm just going to use my ruler. Now, I did print this on 80-pound paper. It's Hammersmith, or sorry, Hammer Mill paper. I always want to call it the wrong thing. Hammer Mill is the brand, and I got mine off of Amazon. And I'll try to remember to put a link below in the description, same place where you can get these free printables. And I like the 80-pound. If you watched one of my other videos, I had used a different kind. I tried a different kind, and when I scored it, I may have scored it a little too hard, but it kind of, the fibers broke a lot faster than I noticed with this one. So I do prefer this. And excuse my dog snoring in the background, if you can hear him. He's really going at her down over there. It's just a little Yorkie, and he's got a bed beside me on the table. So I'll continue to score all these lines, and then I'll come back and we'll start putting this together. There we go. The scoring is done. I think I got all the lines. Looks good. All right. The first thing we're going to do is build the base. And I was talking in the intro about there is a few different ways that we can build this and use it. Maybe you want to, oh yeah, I was like, ooh, that one, maybe I didn't score that one, but I did. Make sure it's straight. There's a few different ways that you can use this. And I've designed it so that you can use the base all on its own without the decorative piece if you don't want. If you were looking to make a craft with somebody and you only had a short amount of time, or maybe you like it, you can check it out here as we go along. I just like to add some extras in if I can. All right, so that's the base folded. We might as well just keep folding everything while we're in folding and scoring and folding mode here. And again, when you're folding over, just to make sure, I don't know about you, but I don't always score exactly straight. So you do want these nice and straight as you can get them. Okay, that one's done. And then these guys. And before you fold these, and again, making sure everything is straight. Because I know when I went with my score tool, I went a little crooked on some of them. So Now's the time to straighten those out because this won't go together properly if it's crooked. But it's not always easy to score the lines exact, as you probably already know. So you get it as good as you can. All right, so that one's folded. So now you can go along with these guys. And as I was cutting it out, I realized I made an extra flap that we don't need. I'm gonna have to remember to, when you get yours, it won't have the extra flap, but mine does. And I really don't need it on there, so I'm gonna get that cut off right now. Because it's going to come together and there's a flap right there, so I don't need to. There's that one done, and we have one more. I might as well cut this off right now. And as you're cutting these out, again, the you know, closer to the lines you can get, the better. So again, lining it up. Making sure it's as straight as possible. You could use the bone folder if you want some help, but it's not folding completely over, so there's no need to get too aggressive with it. It just needs to fold into a square. All right, and then we can do our flaps. And one more. There, all right. Those are ready. We'll go back to this. This is a great time if you did want to do a little bit of inking along the edge. This would be a great time to do that. I'm going to use some ground espresso. Now, I'll just show you. You definitely don't have to. It looks pretty good already. It's got nice clean lines, but I'm a sucker for inked edges. I just love how it looks. So, and I kind of gives it a little bit of an antique look, I think. I don't know. I just like it. So I'm going to do it. And you do what you like to do. Do the top. There. I kind of like that. Finishes off the edges, but it looked pretty cute before too. I feel like I missed the front here completely. All right, you could always add it on at the end as well. But you can see where we're going with this. We're just going to start gluing it together. I'm going to be using, my usual Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. And I just, you know, one of the reasons I love it is this holder because, you know, it's just so darn handy. Be nice if it had, you know, maybe a little bit more precision tip on it, but it works. And I do have a little, I made myself a little extra one if I'm doing some small work. So that works. But anyways, let's go through here and just do one at a time. And it might be easier to lay it down. Or hold it. Just, you know, when you're building something like this, just taking your time and getting everything as square as you can. And don't rush is always your best bet. Okay, I'm going to go to this side. Make sure that one is set down nice and square. It is really easy if you put it down onto your table and just run along there with your nail. Bring that to the edge, and then you can really press down. And then we can do the top. You could do both at the same time. I'm just going to do one at a time. There we go. All right. And the next step is to take this little piece that we cut out. This is the bottom. It's going to just fit right on there. So I'm going to put glue on the long ones first, all the way to the edges. This is going to just add a little bit of strength to the corners. And then you can set these on. They probably won't stay, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to put a little glue on here. And if you can get to the edges without making too much of a mess, that's awesome. I'm not going to ink this because it's going on the bottom. Again, if you're doing it as a gift for someone, you know, you might want to ink the whole thing so it looks cohesive, but I don't think they'll probably care either what's on the bottom. But that's up to you. So just go through, and now you can see why we have that hole. It makes it a lot easier to get in there. And so I did have a little come out the side, so I am going to throw a little ink on it, because you can see that white line. Not very much. Probably once it's set up you won't see it, but I still got ink on my brush, so it's all good. And now, like I was saying, once it's put together, you could even ink it just now. All right, there you go. That's your stand. It's going to look like this. We're going to now go on to the cubes and glue these together. These can be a little tricky, but they're not hard. They're just a little trickier. So I am going to start, if you have it laid down, you know, I'm going to show you how I do it, but it's not necessarily the only way to do it, of course. But if you look at it, it's going to look like this. And I'm going to start my glue on these ones and then these ones. But if you started on the other side, it wouldn't matter either. But for those interested to see exactly which one I'm doing first, that's how I'm doing it. In the same way as we made the box, we're going to get this as square as we can. Nice and tight on the corners. Take your time. And a really great way to make something like this, or if you're building any kind of thing, is to do one and move to the next one. And that allows the first one for that glue to set up a little bit. And then when we're gonna do the next one, we're gonna go back to this one, and it won't be all sliding around with glue. So that's my favorite way of doing it. Okay, put that one down. Now we can go to the next. You want to get the glue to the edge, but not, obviously we don't want glue coming out everywhere. Bring this one in. And again, you could lay it down and press it out to the edge using the table. That works too. Let's go back to this guy. Okay, last one. These overlap a little bit. So again, you can put a little glue. It just adds a little strength. Lay those down. Add a little glue there. Looking good. Oh, get a little further out to the edge if I can. And down. Now this last one might have to fiddle with a little bit, but it should line up pretty good. Just make sure you're checking all the edges. Keeping pressure on it. Flip it over to cure. I'm going to do the same on this one. All right, those are done. We could ink these edges as well if you like. Of course, you don't have to. We could have inked them ahead of time. They are kind of tricky to ink. I think faded blue jeans might be a good match. I haven't tried it, but I'm gonna live on the edge and give it a try. They look really good already. There is a little bit of white, so you can definitely, oh yeah, that's a perfect match. If you use Tim Holtz Distress, faded blue jeans is perfect. It's almost easier to ink after it's put together because it's, or maybe before you score it and fold it and all that, it would be easier. I don't know. You can try what you like. I actually didn't mind how it looked like to begin with, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. You know, you could also go over it with a different color. Might be an interesting. That, I know that one crossed my mind. Oopsies. Wait till it's dry before you get too aggressive like I did. Okay, there's a good, so that went over the line a little bit. Those scissors aren't long enough. So you could just go through and snip that off. If your cutting isn't perfect or it's not how you wanted it, just fix it up. I don't know if I got this all or not, but it looks good to me. So I'm gonna call that good. And you could do blue around this one too, actually might look kind of neat. Anyways, that one is done. Before we move any further, and we've got inks out, I am going to ink this up quickly because this one really does need ink along those white lines, because I'll show you in just a second what we're going to do with this. Okay, I don't necessarily need to do the bottom, but I'll just throw a little bit on there. And then these ones go around the edges as well, just very quickly. Because the white edges will show. Excellent. All right. Okay, here we go. I just want to show you a few options here. So this is how it's supposed to stand. Let's say it's the 21st. I'm going to tip it up so you can see it. This is the bottom, but just so you can see it. These sit on here like this. So you have your stand, and then you have your numbers so you can change them if it's the 12th or the 19th or the 16th or the 18th or however you want it, you know, whatever the date is. You could leave it like this. This is all you could make from this, and it would be a cute little countdown. Oops, that's upside down. Countdown to Christmas. Option 2. From here, if you like this base, then you could decorate it with your items. So you could add a little reindeer on there, a little Christmas tree, which would be cute. You could just glue it to the back, and it would stand out the side, and maybe you want to have a little gnome kind of guy on the other side. There's so many different ways that you could do this. On the front, you could put this on the back, and you could choose to put Merry Christmas on the front. Maybe add a little wreath or something like this. There are options all over the place. But just for fun, let's do some more options, because that's not enough. So what this is to create a bit of a lip around, or a stand. Once this is together, these can't fall off. It's gonna, they'll be a little bit more steady there if you've got little ones kind of that like to move it around or whatever. Also, it gives you the option of a completely different front, sides, and back, and we're going to do that today. And what you could do is you could glue it, if you're really stealthy, you could glue it together and have it so that it slides on and off, although I made it to fit pretty darn tight. So I'm not going to do that today. The other option, again, more options, you could turn this and have that facing up. And then the bottom would look really nice as well. Lots of options. I'm going to actually do that today. And what I'm going to do is glue this onto here. So glue on the box, not on here, because this does come up a little higher than the box. And the first one I made to see how it would look, I glued on here, and then I had glue, oopsies, yikes, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this side. Then I had glue showing on the inside, which once you put the cubes in, it didn't really matter, but that's not the point. Okay. So I'm going to take the front, pretty simple, glue it on. Press. Make sure it's all the way down. The back, the bottom is flush, everything is flush. And yes, we haven't glued these yet. We're going to in a minute, but first, I'm going to make sure this is glued on well. We don't really need to worry about the white inside because it will get covered. But if you wanted to, you could definitely take your brush and you could do something on the inside if you want or whatever, but I just didn't worry about mine. Okay, that's on. Looks good. Now we have two pieces like this. And one of them goes, these open. One of them goes right in here, gets glued on. So let's just do that. Again, gluing on the box. All the way to the edges. Glue this on, slide it in. Making sure it's all the way to the bottom. Glued on. Close your flaps. Just really hold it on there. Good. And now we're going to glue these flaps down. All the way up. And it's just going to add, again, a little bit more strength to your box. And fold them down. Doesn't matter if glue seeps out at this point, because while we're still rolling here, we're going to go ahead and put some more glue on the back all the way to the edges. If you didn't get enough under there, that one doesn't want to seem to sit down. We're going to take this second piece, getting glue all over myself, and we're going to press the sides in. Press that down, make sure it's down all the way this way. Oh, I'm getting glue on myself. Maybe the smarter way would have been to wait for that first set of glue to dry a little bit. But I'm trying to not have the video go for 20 hours. Yeah, I got glue in there anyways, but all right. Everything looks good. I went over this way a little bit too far. I'll just take my brush and fix that up a little bit. Again, if you're making this at home, you might want to wait a few seconds, make sure everything is dry first. Okay, so there's the box. So now we have a clean slate. The bottom looks amazing. The numbers, again, are going to sit up here. But now it's a little boring because it's all plain, and maybe, you know, that's how you like it. But we are going to take a few minutes and decorate. So we have to decide, of all of this stuff, what are we going to use? I put quite a bit in here. And to save a little time, I'm going to tell you, I did sit here already for quite a while with this piece, wondering how I was going to decorate it, and I have, I think, decided. But let's see here. We'll just get those out of the way for the moment. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is cut this out. Those are cut. I'm gonna take a little bit, you could use red, that would look pretty on here too, but I'm just gonna stay with the brown theme. Pop that on. Go. Okay, we got a Merry Christmas. I might overlap that just a little bit. And I do love this little December 25th. Gonna use that somewhere. And this guy. What is it about holly berry and leaves? That's so pretty. Definitely going to use that corner, I think. I'm going to have some coming off the edge because I think that'll look cute. I'm not using those. I don't know yet about the rest of it. So I did make the background the same color as this, so when you do use it on there, it doesn't take away by having big white areas. So hope that is nice for everybody. These little guys. I love these. Totally using those. That one, and that one. Get 3 little Christmas balls. Like I said, I did spend some time deciding where I was going to put all this because I wanted to use it all. I like the tree, then I like the presents under the tree, but I really love the reindeer. Like, that's adorable. And once your numbers are in, he would kind of sit up top a little bit. You could cut him a little lower just so his antlers show over the top. I could not decide. I loved it all. Let's see, I liked these and this and this. I loved these balls on here. And I think I liked the bow. It ended on here or something. Maybe these need to go over a little bit. I can't really remember how I exactly had it. I think something like that. I liked it. Oh, and then I did like that. And I was debating whether to put it there or over there. Anyways, I'm not sure where I'm going to put that, but I'm going to use it. And on the sides, I think I might use this wreath on the side. And I might put that reindeer on the other side. I think that would look cute. Or I might have them over the top. Anyways, I don't think I'm going to use these guys, so I'll just pop those away. We'll leave these out. But while I was laying all those on, I did have a little bit of an idea. So I'm going to bring my piece of paper out. And I'm going to use some embossing powder on these guys and the berries. And maybe a little bit on here. I don't think I'm going to use a Christmas tree. I might use a little bit on here. Like, I don't want everything shiny. Well, I might have to do that too. Oh, that's the problem with embossing powder. Once you look at it, it's like, I want it on everything. Okay, so I do have this Tim Holtz Distress. Oh, I want the bigger one. Embossing pen. This is the bigger brush one. The other option is I do have Versamark, so I could just turn something upside down on there. But because I'm doing little things, I'm only going to do the berries on here. I am going to do this whole thing. Actually, that might be easier just to, and I'm thinking I'm going to have sticky fingers, but I'm going to do it anywho. I think I got enough on there. And I should maybe, before it, I don't work with embossing powder as much as I'd like to. I often forget. I'm so anxious to get my project together that, oopsies, this is really super fine. I often work on my projects. I'm so excited to get them put together that I have it all together and then I think, oh, I wish I would have embossed it. But I might just do that. Oh, look at that. That worked well. I don't want embossing powder on my ink pad though. Did I get enough on there? No, I did. And wipe it off, and one more. And that looks good. Down. And then these other ones, I thought I would just do like the little berries and stuff. All right, use my embossing gun. There we go. It didn't add a lot. I was thinking of doing a couple of coats because usually you have to. And I don't know if you can see these. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe on something a little bigger. Yeah, let's see if I can get a close up here. But it's kind of mottled. I kind of like it, actually, rather than just a clear coat on there. So I'm gonna work with that. I like it. So let's get it put together here. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna go around and ink up a few of these. Alrighty, here we go. Everything is inked and ready to go. Just pop those out for a moment. I think I'm gonna glue. I want to keep moving everything around because I keep looking at that guy and I was like, man, he would look cute at the front. But I don't know now. And I wonder if he would block the... Not really. Especially if I moved him over, he would... The numbers would be between his antlers. Well, now I don't know. No, I'm gonna... You know what? For the sake of time, I'm just gonna build it the same as I had planned. All right. So I'm going to put this on right there. Do a little Mary. That looks good. Oh, I wanted to put this on. Yike. This is gonna hang off the edge, so I'm just gonna throw a little bit. I keep getting ink all over my thumb there. Okay. I want that to go because I liked it sticking up a little bit. I'm gonna glue to there. That's too high because it's supposed to be sticking up a little bit. I like that, and I like it hanging off the edge. There, I can glue that back down. That looks cute. These guys. Yeah, it adds just the littlest bit of shine, a little something extra on there. I like something like that. And I do want to balance out a little bit. Yeah, that would be perfect. So, do this guy first. It's okay if he's under the bow a little bit, a little up high. And then I'm going to put this guy down. I hope you'll have fun making this. I thought this would be the perfect craft to invite someone over for a coffee. Have a couple printed off. You could do it over coffee time. Doesn't take too long. Put that on. And, ooh, I should have lifted that up. Actually, I kind of like that. I am going to have that. I'm going to curl those a little bit. I like that look. I'm going to do that with this too, instead of having everything glued down solid. In fact, I'm going to cut this one just a little thinner than it is. And that will sit there. Those will curl up. I'm going to glue this one down. A little underneath. Oop. That looks good. If it's easier for you, you could even decorate this outside and then glue it on, if that's even easier, but sometimes it's nice when it's all put together. This I didn't get hardly any on, so it's hard to see the embossing, but I like it. I'm going to glue it. Bit right there. And if you are going to have yours in the middle of the room, you can even decorate the back. Maybe that's where the Christmas tree is going to go with presents. That would look really cute. Maybe we'll just do that. I am totally using this reindeer on the side of mine. I love his antlers sticking. Oh, I should have put him on this side because I already got stuff sticking up on this side. Darn it. Oh well. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of that on the back. And everything but that antler is going to get glue. And he's going to go right, I'm going to put him a little bit toward the back, so his antlers don't stick up too far. I didn't put enough. I didn't go far enough. There. That's cute. I do love this curly little hollyberry leaves. All right, that's looking good. Feels like there should be something here, but that's too big. Could put a little snowflake, but I don't want to. I'm gonna leave it. And for the front, I had a pen. Ooh, that one got a little crooked. Yike. Oh well. I'm just gonna draw some lines straight down. That one, I should have thought of that out a little bit better before I started. Oh, and this one too, goodness sake. Oh well. Once it's all put together, it's all good. Put a couple little bows on there. I was only going to do 2, but why not do 3? That's looking better. Now, I did have an idea for the back while I was figuring all this out. And I thought it might look cute to have this little guy tucking up over the back like that. And I wondered if he would fit on there. Oh, he kind of does. Or he could come in this side, or right in the center, but I hate things centered. I think he looks kind of cute right there. Now, he would look like this from the back, so that's not super cute. So it would depend if you're going to put him somewhere where, you know, somewhere where he won't be seen from the back. I'm going to think about that. One more thing I am going to do, if you've watched any of my other videos, you do know I like my gold and silver pens, and I'm going to utilize them again today. I'm going to go around the outside of my box because these strings are just kind of going to nowhere, it feels like. So you could do this, and probably wise to do it before you put the box together if you're going to use any kind of metallic outline. You might want a really smooth line, you might want to use a ruler, but I actually like a bit of a wobbly line. A little bit extra in the corners is always cute. And then, just so they have somewhere to come from, I might go like that. Can add a little gold to there. A little shimmer there. And actually, while we got the gold pen out, again, this might have been easier before because if my pen slips, it's going to go on the background, but then you just start outlining the background too, if you goof up, or you leave it. Just to commit to whatever is happening for you. There. That adds a little shimmer. You could go around the whole box. I don't think I'm going to because I'm not going to see the sides very much. All right, so now I still want to add that because it looks very lopsided. I'm going to add my bow kind of up a little high. I hadn't decided kind of how I was going to look at it. Now I wish it was a little bit smaller, but I think I made the blue one the same size. Yeah, I did. But I like the gold because we got lots of blue with the numbers. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just cut these shorter. Like that. If at first it doesn't work, modify, right? There, that doesn't cover the Christmas balls up too much. I like that. And I'm going to give this one a little curl. And I am going to color the back. I'm going to lay this down so I can do the back easier. Because I keep getting it all over my nails, and it makes my nails look yellow, which looks gross. There we go. That looks good. And I'm just going to glue that on, and mostly in the center, and a little bit there, and there, and there. I think that'll look cute right on the edge. Oops, no, turn. Right there. It's hard to see looking down on it. There, I think that looks good. Yeah, the side looks cute. That side looks cute. We got our numbers. So we have all of this left. So you could do, you could cut out one of the pages of Fussy Cuts and do 2 of these pretty easily. Or you could use them on Christmas cards. I mean, this would make a cute little Christmas card, wouldn't it? You could be standing in behind, you could have some presents, happy holidays, or whatever you want to put. All right, but anyways, we're done with those. So at the beginning, and I was going to explain, funny story, this of course was supposed to be out long before now, because it's already, I think it's the 4th. And this probably won't even go up until tomorrow because it'll take a while to upload. But it was supposed to be out at the end of November, but life happened and I actually wasn't going to post it. But I decided if it was me, I would still want it. And so I decided to pop it up here. So I hope you're enjoying it. But I just wanted to say, so today is the 4th, so let's find that. And these are all numbers. So just pick one, put it in. And what I thought would be really cute is for the first part of the year, because this is for next year too, for when it's only one day, you could put the little Christmas tree in there. And I thought that would look really cute. So you just know it's the 4th, or you can use one of these little guys in front. Adorable. No, that's not going to work. I guess nothing else is big enough. But anyways, you get the gist. That would look cute sitting in there. And you would just see it is December 4th. All right. So there's, I think, all of my ideas. Again, if you wanted to decorate the back, you could use up the rest of your stuff and build a little scene at the back if it's going to be sitting on a coffee table or something. That would be cute. And I think that's all I wanted to do with it. So I hope you are having an amazing day and enjoy making this little guy, because I think this little calendar is really fun. And thanks for joining me again. Bye for now.